right. We are live. We are live. I want to make sure I get this to some people, get some individuals the link to the stream, make sure they know that we are talking crypto. We are taking requests, answering questions, making sure that you guys have all the info that you need as usual, because that's what we're all about here is making sure you get the first hand account as to what's happening. And I want to go over a couple of pieces of news in regards to what people are talking about today in comparison to what I already covered a while back, because this is usually how it takes place. I talk about something one day and the next day the news covers it, or they don't cover it all because it's not interesting enough for it to cause any kind of FOMO or FUD. So my goal is to make sure I get you guys the right info, make sure that I am sharing all of the info that I possibly can to make you guys not only profitable, but more knowledgeable about the crypto environment as far as what's happening and what you can expect short term and long term. I'm cleaning up my windows here, making sure that I got things ready to go for you. I got a couple of pieces of news that I want to cover. All right, let me get this link share. Don't have anybody on the stream quite yet since I just got this thing started, and that subscriber count is low. So if you have not yet done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get notifications when we go live, when we have things going on, because at the end of the day, that's part of what's going to make you guys even more profitable. So keep at it. I'm always going to be here for you, making sure that I'm covering any kind of news that comes out, anything that's happening that other people might not even cover. Like I was saying, for at least a day or two, sometimes not at all, because at the end of the day, if it's not going to cause any kind of panic, if it's not going to cause people to go, "Oh my God, what's going on?" It's just not interesting. It's not, important for people to cover it, but regardless, I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the info that you need, giving you guys the information that's going to make you most successful long term, because I like y'all and y'all have been helping me. So I want to make sure that I help you. It's one of those, it's a two-way street sort of deal here. I want to make sure that we are both doing this thing together, and I want to be able to provide you guys with value. Value to me is everything, because without it, what's the point? What are we going to do? Crypto's going up. Great. What does that mean? How is that going to benefit you? All right, video unavailable. You watch this video on YouTube. Getting some errors here. Some people are letting me know they're not able to watch the video. I want to make sure that my stream isn't being blocked just because I'm talking about stuff that matters. Can you open? Interesting. Some people are saying they can't open the stream even on. Let me give this guy a shot. Something went wrong. All right, let me make sure I got this thing set up, getting you guys with this stream going here. I appreciate all of you that are joining, that are trying to get in here. I don't know, maybe YouTube is starting to censor me because I'm telling you guys before the news outlets are telling you stuff. So, all right, looks like we got some people in. It is working. Fantastic. We got 2 people watching right now. So here's what's going on. I want to make sure I just get right to it. Like I told you, yesterday I went live, and I was really hoping to see that Bitcoin hit that $40,000 mark. I had to go, unfortunately, and couldn't stick around. But if you look at it today, we are over $40,000 already, and the trend is actually looking pretty good. So it kind of excited about what's going on here, and the trend seems to be a positive one, more long term than short term. And I'll tell you why I'm seeing that right now. So here's the chart for Bitcoin. Actually, change my screen so you can see this a little bit better. Here we go. I'm going to pull up a 1-day chart just so you can see what's happening. We hit that 39,000 for a little bit here, but we came right back up. And again, this is pretty stable if you're considering the crypto markets. And this chart here doesn't show the exact numbers like the one I want to show you now. So here we go. This is what happened right in the morning. And if you guys remember, we were talking last night. I was sharing some of this info with you guys, and this is, let me pull this up. This is where we kind of left off. Remember how I told you that, these four markers right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 minutes of positive Bitcoin news. And I told you it's going to break out. We're going to get a spike here at any minute. And that's exactly what took place. Right after we got that spike, came back down, and then we got people buying back in. And today we had another. If you remember, I told you if we stick around at least 20 minutes with some positive candlesticks going on within Bitcoin, we will see breakouts. And this is, again, it happened 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the fifth one. And then again, right there, boom, we shot right back up. And a little bit earlier today, we did have this go on. And when I say a little bit earlier, I'm talking about an hour or two ago. We were at the $40,600, and we had a bunch of people sell off. But again, we all know that this is at a discount. So if people are selling off, people are going to buy in, and it was picked right back up. Right now, we're sitting at $40,100 for Bitcoin, and I do expect this thing to actually hold. And yesterday, I covered a piece of news with you guys that I only saw covered today. So if I go over here, I told you guys about Elon Musk talking about how Tesla is going to resume taking Bitcoin payment. And this was yesterday's news, but people are only talking about it today. So you got to hear it first. His whole thing is that he wants to make sure people are going green. And we had Mr. Wonderful say this exact same thing, that mass adoption when it comes to enterprises is only going to take place once we see it become more sustainable, when we see this become more of a green energy type of scenario. Otherwise, people are not going to be that interested to be able to go back in. They're not going to be interested to join this movement until they can actually put it on their balance sheet. Green Bitcoin purchase. Again, people in the markets really want to make sure that they know exactly how to portray this to their customers. When you're dealing with organizations, you want to be able to say, oh yeah, we are in Bitcoin, but we're doing only sustainable Bitcoin. Elon gets this. Elon Musk pushes this all the time. And again, in my opinion, this is not something that's necessarily a 100% true statement. It's more of marketing. If you think about it, every single Tesla that has ever hit the road, you can expect 100% of those batteries to end up in a landfill somewhere. So if you care so much about the environment, why don't you focus on the amounts of battery that you're going to be dumping, right? This is 100% in my mind, when it comes to Elon Musk specifically, a marketing move. It's making sure that the company is looking good in other people's eyes. And what happens is that people buy in. They have this idea that, oh yeah, Tesla is all about being green. Tesla is all about making sure that we're helping and saving the environment. And to continue that narrative, what better way than to say, hey, we're going to take Bitcoin, but only when it's green enough for us. Even though, like I've mentioned before, the financial institutions that run regular credit cards and your banking industry utilizes twice as much energy as Bitcoin does. But again, that's not the narrative that he's putting out. That is not what people are paying attention to. All they see is, oh, Tesla, green good. Pour money into Tesla because green good. That's it. I mean, I don't want to sound like a 2-year-old here, but that's what his portraying. He's saying that unless you are green, we can't deal with you. But so why are you taking money right now? Why are you not focusing on the longevity of your batteries when it comes to recycling? Like, that's something that needs to be addressed if you're really caring about the environment as much as you're saying you do. So Elon Musk, and I'm not just saying this to help the YouTube algorithm to hear me out and saying Elon Musk over and over again, or Tesla and Bitcoin, which obviously, nope, didn't help. So it's really about getting the information, I promise you guys. So if you wouldn't mind, right there at the bottom, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. It's about money. I don't know how else to say this. The co-founder of Tesla, when you really think about it, or really look at the charts and look at when Tesla started, what Tesla is all, kind of got going. Elon Musk wasn't around when Tesla started. Elon Musk wasn't there. So he can't possibly be the co-founder. It's all marketing. It's marketing stunt after marketing stunt after marketing stunt when it comes to Bitcoin and Tesla. And Bitcoin. Sorry, guys. It's, I really don't mean to rant, but it's one of those things that I don't want to say it's a pet peeve of mine, but just say what you mean. Be honest with what your statements are and let people know exactly why you're saying what you're saying. Don't just butter people up saying, oh, we're a green company and we're only going to take Bitcoin when it's 50%. Like, but that's besides the point. Let's take a look at something else. Following this trend when it comes to Bitcoin. And, while we do this, I'm going to bounce back and forth here. Just to make sure we're keeping track of these numbers and seeing exactly where we are. So right now we're at 40,188. And it looks like we're holding, which is great. Right. Yeah, we're still looking good. And I think we're gonna stick around this $40,000 mark. There might be breakouts, but I'm fairly certain that for the little short term here, we're gonna stick around that $40,000 mark, which is gonna allow me to tell you about some other things that are going on, because that's what usually happens is the markets like me enough to keep things steady while I talk to you about other stuff that's going on and that's impacting the price of Bitcoin. So, taking a look at the other news that I was covering in just a minute ago, I'm gonna go back to my charts. All right, so Bitcoin fund outflows slow, but investors starting to exit Ether funds. So basically, this is a chart of what's been going on lately and how people are pulling their money out of crypto. And when I say people, I'm talking about larger organizations, investment funds that are kind of moving in this direction. And you might look at this and say, oh, this is terrible. No, I'm actually excited about this. I'm totally okay if these mass digital asset funds kind of pull their money out, because it allows us retail investors to kind of get in at a lower level before they all get the FOMO bug and start buying back in, because it is going to happen. And I'll show you my next piece of news that I want to cover with you is exactly that. But here are the numbers. This is where I want to go to. So Ether had the largest outflow on record since 2015. So 12.7 million, according to CoinShares. That's a lot of money to be pulled out of a coin. And again, they are trading this as much as they possibly can to try to maximize their gains. If they're seeing something that's doing better than other assets, they're going to pull it out. They're going to do something else with the money, because it's all about providing their clients with the best possible return on investment, right? So if you're looking at Ethereum and it's not going that great and it's not doing what they want to do, they're gonna pull their money out. If there is any uncertainty and things aren't moving as fast as they wanted to, they're going to pull out, which is fine. Again, the goal is to make sure that retail investors, at least in my mind, what I want to see for all of us is that retail investors kind of get the ability to invest more and get more from these coins, from these altcoins, and just cryptocurrency in general. So if we have other people pulling out of these funds, that's okay, as long as we stay in it and we're taking our profits. And the reason I say this is okay is because this is 100% temporary. So if you look here, Paul Tudor could go all in on inflation trades, wants 5% Bitcoin allocation. He runs a pretty massive fund, and no one is happy about what's going on with inflation in the US right now, and it's causing people to say, you know what, we're gonna take a stance and go to crypto, because it's a good way for us to be able to hold and still not lose value, right? Because with the dollar right now, if you got money, liquid fiat cash in the bank right now, and you're not doing anything, if you're not earning any interest on that, you are technically losing money. Inflation is at 5% in the US. So if you're not getting at least 5% from your savings account, that money is literally losing value every single day. So keep that in mind. Think about where your money is, what you're doing with it, because you're losing money if it's just sitting in the bank. And you don't want to do that. And people that have a lot of money and they're managing other people's monies as well, they get it. They see it. They are 100% in line with what I'm saying. They want to make sure that their money is working for them and not the other way around. So they're investing in crypto. They're making sure that their money is working for them. You can get right now as high as 12% return on your digital assets. I mean, even stable coins that are following the dollar, you can get 12% back on those coins alone. There's a link down below for Blockify. If you sign up, you get money, I get money up to $250, and it's all about getting a return on your investments. And if you want to earn money passively, hold crypto. I mean, even if you're not certain about what's going on, if you're not sure that you want to invest in Bitcoin, even just holding, stable coins, you're going to be able to make more money with that than the money that you'd be losing at a regular banking institution. I mean, we'll do it live here. So savings interest in the U.S. Let's see what the average is. This should be a fun exercise. Oh boy, this hurts. This hurts even to look at, but I'm gonna put it up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. This is from Smart Asset. And I'm just gonna find that chart. Take a look at this. This is what high yield savings are paying out right now. Here's the APY, 0.5%. With inflation at 5%, guys, you're losing. You're losing at the highest one here. You're losing 4.5% of your money every single day. If you're not in something that's going to pay you out more than 5%, you're losing money. So these are high yield savings at 0.5%. This is ridiculous. And then you get to some of these bigger banks and you take a look at here for the savings accounts that, provide an APY. Like, you got to have $250,000 in your account to be able to earn 0.05. That's not 5%. That's 0.05. That's not 1%. It's 0.5% with Chase. Premier Savings. Premier? What's Premier about it? Like, they're taking more money from you? Is that what Premier means? Because they're making money with your money, and you're just losing money, day in, day out. So keep that in mind. If you're not earning more than 5% on your money, you're literally losing money every single day that money is there. All right, we're still good. We're actually climbing a little bit here with the price of Bitcoin. We have 1, 2, 3 green candlesticks, and this is actually looking like a big one coming up right now. Hopefully it holds and we can keep this momentum going. But it's looking good. Bitcoin, we're at that $40,000 mark. We need to break 42,000. I've mentioned this a few times in the channel, but you want to see 42,000 plus, because there is a huge resistance at around that $42,000 number. So let's make sure we keep watching this. But going back to the news, here's the fun one. Little glass of water. But here's my man. MicroStrategy raises $50 million from bond sale to buy more Bitcoin. Like, this is what you do when you know inflation is kicking everybody else's butt. You grab money to invest in things that are gonna go up. And MicroStrategies is doing exactly that. And it's a no-brainer. With Bitcoin being up as high as it is right now, Michael Saylor knows exactly what he's doing. This is insane. So MicroStrategy said it's 92,000 Bitcoin being held. That's a lot of Bitcoin, guys. And if you just think about the numbers, right? So this is just going to be a real simple math exercise, and I want to show you how this works. And this works in the for all of us. And I'm going to just bring up this calculator. I want to make sure I keep it on screen. All right. So if I bring this down a little bit more, we're going to see the price of Bitcoin right there as well. All right. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting. Actually, let's start the other way around. So we're sitting at 92,000 Bitcoin that he has approximately, right? And we just had Bitcoin increase 8.2%. So let's clear this out. So 40,292.59 divided by 8.2. So this is how much Bitcoin went up by. Almost $5,000, right? And I want to do round numbers just so you can do the math with me here fairly easily. So let's do 92,000 Bitcoin, which is what they're holding right now. times $5,000. It's just $5,000 it went up. It's not that big of a deal, right? Michael Saylor's, he's a smart guy, but is it worth it? You tell me. Those are his gains, for one day, for 24 hours. That's how much money he made just by holding Bitcoin. $460 million in 24 hours simply by holding. Who else is doing that? Look, I know it's crazy when you stop to think about these numbers, right? It's real basic math. Bitcoin went up about $5,000, and I'll do it again. So $5,000, Bitcoin went up by $5,000, and he has 92,000 Bitcoin. So times 92,000 Bitcoin, and we hit enter. $460 million in gains. This is just, he's up this much in 24 hours. Yes, I completely understand that the market can be volatile and it can drop and he can lose money. But if you can make $460 million overnight just by holding Bitcoin, why wouldn't you? As opposed to, let's just, let's say average Joe, who's been profitable, knows what he's doing with his money, and is full of FUD because he doesn't understand the crypto markets. And let's call it $1 million. Let's say he has $1 million in a Chase savings account, which is giving him 0.5%, which means that he is losing 4.5% on his money. So year over year, what's going to happen with that 4.5%? He's gonna. So we're gonna times this one by 96.5. Let's go that route and make it nice. And we'll divide it by 100. So he lost. Here's what happens. If you have $1 million in the bank and you just let it sit there in your Chase savings account, you're going to lose $45,000. Literally, you're losing $45,000 in 1 year if you don't invest it appropriately, if you don't make sure that your money is working for you, and instead your money is devaluing itself because of inflation. You'd lose $45,000. And it impacts all of us, regardless if you have, $1 million or you have 100,000 in the bank, whatever it is, you're still losing money. And the way for you to grow, or the way for you to, be certain that your money is working for you, is not always to be looking at, what's this huge investment that I'm going to make? No, it starts with little things. It starts with the small decisions that you're making now. It's your $5 cup of coffee every day, right? This is the sort of thing that most people don't realize. A lot of people are buying homes right now because of two reasons. First, interest rates are super low. But secondly, it's because they haven't been going out to eat every day. They're home. A lot of people stayed at home. And if you're spending, I don't know, let's say you go for a morning coffee as you're driving into work, that's $5. And I don't really like packing my lunch, so I always make sure to go out with my coworkers to eat. So that's another, let's say a cheap meal, $10. You got snacks, you got something. You're talking about $15 to $20 a day. So let's say plus 15 here. So you got not a big deal. I mean, I'm spending $20 a day, right? That's 52 weeks in a year. And you're working 5 days a week? That's $5,000. That's $5,200 for one person on money that would have been just eaten away, literally. That's $5,000 you can spend in something else. And people are seeing this, huge difference. And it's what I've always talked about with people, is that you got to make sure you understand what the power of compound interest is and how that can benefit you long term. Because $5,000 now can mean a lot more money in the future if you're watching it, if you're making it work for you instead of having the money do its own thing. As long as you are making sure you're paying attention to where your money's going, there can be huge profits. It can be a really massive gains. And when I see this thing here from MicroStrategies talking about how they're raising money to buy more Bitcoin, I mean, this is, I want to make sure I play this one, because this this kind of just makes it all worth it. This is what I hear.
You did it. You crazy son of a bitch, you did it.
That's it right there. He did it. He was able to raise the money to be able to buy Bitcoin. This guy is happy as can be, smiling from ear to ear. If you can see, this is over in Miami where he was at. Guys, this is a ton of money. I showed you almost $500 million overnight because he's investing in the right things. And it starts with the small decisions. It really does. And he didn't go out and buy, 92,000 Bitcoin overnight. This is a process. He's been doing this little by little. And this is how we look at it in our lives too. Make sure that you're putting in money little by little. It might not seem like a lot, but even if you got to make small decisions today. So I'm not going to drink my morning coffee from wherever I normally get it like I usually do. I'm going to do it every other day now. And instead of, buying that, I'm going to put some money into crypto. So every time that I would have, essentially been buying my coffee, I'm going to brew a whole pot and put it in a mug. And I'm going to use that money to buy Bitcoin. That can have a huge impact on your wallet long term. Like, tremendous impact. And I should probably put a video together with some quick numbers and put it on the screen so you can see what that looks like. Let me take a look at where we're at with Bitcoin right now. I think we're still looking good. Yep, that trend is still upward here. We got 2 red candlesticks, but we're still over 40,000. Like I said, I think we're going to stick in this realm for a little while longer. I'm not worried about as far as numbers go. Because we did see resistance. If you can see here, we got a lot of resistance when we hit that $40,000 mark here. It just bounced right back up because people are now wanting to buy back in. So anytime you see Bitcoin falling below 40,000, as you can see here, it was $39,970. People are buying back in because they are now ready to have it go past this threshold. And here's another good chart that I like looking at that makes things a little bit more visual for us as well. You can see some of the buy and sell orders on the right side here, and I'll bring this over because I do want to make sure you guys can see this a bit better. Let me take a look. Here we go. Right. So there are your orders going in and out, and there's a lot of orders going in and out. So you can see this trend here, and this is in 1 hour chart. I'm going to change this to a 1 minute chart just so you can see it a little bit more closely. But this is what we're looking at as far as the price of Bitcoin goes. We're at that $40,255 mark right now. And again, I'm fairly bullish for the short term when it comes to Bitcoin. Long term too, but I'm just saying as far as today goes, I think we're going to be able to hold this for a little while longer because we did see that big resistance here on that $39,900 mark. You saw that as soon as it hit those numbers there, you had a huge buy, and that's simply because people have those orders in. They're ready to, commit essentially as soon as those numbers kind of go that, move a little bit lower. But it's happening, guys. I'm telling you, like, this is one of the last times you're gonna have to get in at this low of a price for Bitcoin. And I know it's not that low if you want to put it into perspective, but it's still at a discount in comparison to where Bitcoin is going to go eventually. So if you're gonna make decisions, if you're gonna go into crypto, there's no better time than today to actually do it. But I might jump. Oh, actually, let me show you something else. Now that we're here, I want to make sure I don't miss this. Let me go back into this app here. A trend that I actually noticed today, and Andre Jick is going to be really excited about this. If you guys don't know about Andre, he's okay, but then he did magic, so like he's cool. You know how that goes, right? Magicians. Which reminds me of Hank from The Office going, "You don't think it could have been magic?" Here we go. Coinbase. So we got a happy Monday morning for Coinbase. So it was at 224 when the opening bell rung, and now we're sitting at 238. Yeah, I know. It's, it's not like Bitcoin, it's skyrocketing 10% overnight or anything like that. But for the stock market, having, 6.5% gain, that's really good. That's really, really good. And this trend, I think, is going to continue to take place as the price of crypto increases. So will their stock. And again, it's not enough to cover all the losses that a lot of people had with this, because people are just, FOMOing this one to the limit. Because if you go back when, the stock was first announced, and you go, I can actually go in because it's a fairly new thing. $429 is when this thing started out at, and right now we're getting to basically half of what it came out at. Um, it's going to go back up. I'm fairly certain it's going to go back past this $430 mark, but it's going to depend on Bitcoin, and it's going to depend on crypto, and they're going to have to essentially wait it out. They're doing a really good job when it comes to marketing. They're finally pouring money into that side of the business, but they're gonna see this thing increase with the price of cryptocurrencies as well. So you can expect this stock to go up as as the price of crypto increases as well. I don't know if you guys have done this yet, but if you haven't, hit that like button. I really appreciate it. And I'll sit here for a second. I'll wait for you guys to hit that like button because it really helps. It makes a big difference, and lets YouTube know that they should be sharing this video with other people, and other people would want to watch what you're watching. So if you're watching me, it helps other people see what I'm talking about as well, and help more people get into the crypto markets, see what's going on, what's happening, that it's not just an Elon Musk show, and that other people are in this space and other people are investing, other people are not only spending money, but other people are also making money. Like I was saying, Michael Saylors is going all in. The smart people that understand crypto, they are taking advantage of what's going on. They are really focusing on what's going to make people money long term, what's going to make them money long term. Because if you look at, Paul Jones, he's got it down. He knows that the inflation that's going on in the US is going to hurt a lot of people, and it's going to hurt his businesses if he doesn't, kind of adapt to what's going on in the markets today, which is go into crypto. Make sure your money is not losing value, that your money is working for you. And that's just what they're doing. Michael Saylors was able to, it's debt. And again, for retail investors, I stay away from debt as much as possible. $500 million in debt is a lot of debt to take on to buy Bitcoin. Personally, I am spending the money that I have to be able to buy crypto. I'm not going into debt to do so. And as much as I want to encourage everybody to spend money on crypto, please don't pull out your credit card just to buy crypto. That's not a good way to go about it. But the money that you have, it's not even an altcoin. It's a stable coin. It's money, right? It's following the dollar. It's one for one. If you have a dollar and you have one USDC, it's the same thing. You can cash that out for the exact same amount, except you're going to earn interest if you're holding it in a smart location like Blockfi, with the link down below in the description. That's going to make a difference for you, because your money is now no longer going to be losing value, losing 5% to inflation like all the other people are losing money when the regular banks. But if you have any questions, please feel free to type them out here on the chat. Actually, as soon as I end this stream, I'll always go back and take a look at my comments, take a look at what you guys need, what you guys want, questions that you might have, things that you should or shouldn't be investing in. As you can see, Cardano is sitting at 51 cents, and I want to cover this one quick second so that I can actually have this on screen for today, because I love being able to go back to these and see where we were at, what we were doing, and where are we going with all of it. So let me transition my screen over to the other side, and you can see that the gains on these coins are pretty great. Polygonmatic is at 11.5%. Dot should be up here as well. Dot was doing really well. I was looking at it right there. So 18.65% at $25 for Polkadot right now. This is a fantastic day for crypto. I told you guys to buy when we were having those red days. Today is one of those days that it's paying off to be bullish when other people were fearful. So stick with it. There's a lot more to come when it comes to crypto. There's a lot more that we're going to see. There's so much more that we're going to be able to take advantage of. And if you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button to make sure you know next time I go live and have the news and information for you guys to check out and know what's going on in the crypto markets. But I'll leave it here. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys on the next one.